This is Water Elemental.
And this is Axis, and we are here today to talk about the League of Legends. This is a game of conquest, siege, and ultimate deception. A game we talk about every couple of weeks.
Every week.
Couple. You know, you're right, actually. It is every week. Well, a bit delayed this week because we've been holding out, hoping they would give us some stuff on Leona, but they have not. So we're just going to kind of go over what we've gotten so far and some conceptual stuff.
Because you guys like when we speculate.
Or do you? So we got some champion sales, new blooper reel, some under spotlight, some little bit of news, some sales, and Leona speculation and art.
And don't forget the Journal of Justice. Some interesting popped up this week, too.
Oh, yes. Once again, potential previews in the JOJ. But,
first off, Leona, the Radiant Dawn.
Yes. That.
I love cutting you off.
You do. It makes me feel bad. I don't know if it's fine just because I'm feeling sluggish today, but we did get a mechanics preview of her, even though we didn't get a traditional champion sneak peek. But from what we've read, from what I've kind of thought about, I don't really like her.
She sounds too generic tank.
She sounds boring, and she sounds annoying. Annoyingly boring.
So let's start out with the bullet points they gave us. She starts out with initial team fights, usually via CC, so we know she's going to have a CC, either hard or light.
Well, an initiator with a CC, something somewhat similar to, let's say, a Mamu's Bandage Toss or Alistair's Charge.
Or maybe even a Maokai jump in.
Or a Maokai Root.
She soaks up damage, so she's going to have some sort of shield. She may peel dangerous attackers off vulnerable teammates, so she's going to have a taunt of some sort. And presents itself as an attractive target by causing long-term threat as the fight continues.
So from what I've read, she's kind of a single target, small duration stun, so like a mini stun essentially. A skill shot gap closer, which is kind of like the moment thing I was talking about. And regular single strike stuns. So she's going to be very CC heavy, even if it is light single target CC, which I don't think we need more of in a tank. I want tanks to have new interesting mechanics rather than every one being, if you don't have a stun, you get thrown by the wayside. If you don't have a taunt, you get thrown by the wayside. I don't like that you have to have that to be what is quoted as a good tank.
I'm getting a Shen feeling from her, and I like Shen, but having multiple Shens is kind of scary.
I don't get that vibe from her. I really do not. I disagree with you on that one. She feels more like a bash hero to me. That just has a lot of HP. And you're just going to be so aggravated by these low cooldown stuns that she's just going to be such a massive CC presenter that you won't have a choice but to have to try and tunnel her down or get Mercury Treads.
But the thing is, what I'm kind of thinking about is, since we haven't gotten a preview recently, that they might be changing her up a bit.
I know, but we're speculating on what we have.
What we have right now. But I'm saying it's like,
she could change into anything by the time.
She could change into a dragon that shoots lasers and farts unicorns.
Dude, I loved Dragon Knight in Dota. He was that is what is an interesting hero for me. Something like Dragon Knight.
Well, what I would like to see is, since she is the Radiant Dawn and her abilities are based off the light, I was hoping that, like in Dota, they had champions that were based on light and dark. Maybe if she's in the brush, she loses an effect, and then when she comes out, she gains like a small buff when she transitions out of the brush.
Night Hunter?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Something dealing with light I can see. Or passive saying something, or as the more she's in direct light, or something weird.
Somewhere, like, if there's a status, she has like a secondary resource bar that's like,
Bask
in the power of the sun!
Solar charged! Sitting there in her little,
Venusaur uses Sunny Day! It's bright outside.
Well, we're just going on what we can figure out.
Yeah, no, there's. I mean, they've stalled release. So from what it looks like now, she looks like she's going to be a boring, aggravating target, and which is kind of a definition of all tanks. Yeah. Well, not really, but a lot of tanks these days,
to do their job, they have to be aggravating.
They have to be aggravating and boring.
Well, from this point as the recording, we've checked IGN, we've checked the wikis, we've checked the main site, we've checked all our usual sources. and there wasn't anything up. So at this point in time, we didn't see anything.
But when we do find out, we'll put something up. So just hold out for that,
Yeah.
fellas.
But yeah,
Yeah, not much to say. I mean, I don't really like the concept. I don't like how they've described her. Could change, which actually comes out, but for now she looks like it's just going to be such an annoying thing to fight and not very fun to play. It's just going to be something where you say, okay, I have to maximize the use of everything if I want to use her effectively. And it's just going to not be fun to play. But, personal opinions, again, it could all change.
like we had high hopes for Yorick, and
He failed to deliver, but so we're not really judging any champions till they come out. I mean, that's a lie. I have judged her, but I will wait to till she comes out to give my final judgment.
We will try her out before we give her our final thoughts, just
Definitely,
like on every other champion.
Next thing coming up, kind of important, Journal of Justice. A lot of weird sort of things being mentioned.
First off, someone was assassinated, and the tension between Noxus and Demacia is high to the point of brink of war. Interesting, could affect the game like Oxus.
This could be another Ionia versus Noxus type of event. I hope it has more community involvement. I hope that they actually take the time and maybe give us more than just some crummy, watch Udyr solo an entire team. I want something like the Demo Man versus Spy or whatever the thing was.
And if you guys don't know what that event was, in Team Fortress 2, they had 2 classes, and those classes had a overall total base number. And every time someone would get a kill in game, it would go to the total worldwide number. And whoever reached the higher amount when the event was over won a special item for that class. And hopefully they could do something like that where either total amount of inhibitors captured or towers destroyed or overall wins.
Most kills. Then Demacia will win because Garen is #1 kill steal.
That's why I don't think they could do it. But something like that where it would take something from the whole community passively and put it in there, or they would have a special, AI fight or have some sort of special event for this sort of lore thing would be a lot more fun than us watching a stream. Because
a crummy stream at that.
A bad quality crummy stream.
But yeah, I'm hoping something comes out of it. Another cool thing, sunlight at night. An unusual phenomenon occurs near Mount Targon. Now this is sort of in the similar area where Malzahar and Kassadin and Karthus were, where they were talking about a new inhibitor. So this, once again, points to a new map. But this is just Journal of Justice stuff. It could be completely unrelated. Could just be filler.
It could even be the same map that Karthus was defending. We don't know.
Could be. So, we'll see. But I think that there is definitely some interesting things brewing about magma chambers.
So. But this is nice that we're actually able to discuss some of the, Journal of Justice stuff now lately. We've usually just ignored
it's actually
it on the
relevant. Show. It's not just who's at Ash's window now.
Oh, silly try! What are you doing?
Don't get me wrong. I'm a bit of a lore nerd, but League of Legends lore is just so vague. It's really hard to keep me interested.
Yeah, we kind of have
as
to
it fleshes out more. I'm sure I'll get more into it, but for now, it's just kind of it's too scattered to be fun.
Oh yeah. Next up, we have some sales this week. We have Exiled Morgana, Frost Ezreal, and Samurai Yi.
Oh, what a task is there?
We did miss the sales that are on right now, but at this point it was just kind of...
yeah, we were going to miss it anyway. But let me tell you a little bit about these skins. The Morgana skin, excellent skin. It's pretty good for the price it is. Not the greatest, but it is pretty good for the price. The Ezreal skin's awful. Don't pick it up.
The skin looks good.
Even for how cheap that Ezreal skin is, it's pretty terrible. And the Samurai Yi skin, I have not seen that one in game, but from the screenshots, it looks pretty good.
I've seen it in game, and it looks pretty good.
Well, there you go.
And the sales for this week, as I just pulled them up on my screen, we have Grungy Nanu, Imperial Xin and Void Nocturne. Grungy Nanu, definitely worth it.
Yep, and Imperial Xin not great, but for how cheap it is, it's an okay pickup. And Void Nocturne, I've not been impressed with that one.
Unless you're really looking at the details from the point, it's only a slightly different. If you're going to get a skin for Nocturne, get the Frost one, new particle effects for him, and it's just a totally different color set. And just
Blue brand!
Blue brand! Woo! So, a little jumpy on this week, but, we're still trying to get all our information set. It's been a busy week.
Oh, yes, very busy. New blooper reel. They had a little contest on their YouTube subscribers. It was kind of funny. Not nearly as funny as I thought the first one was, but it's got a couple of chuckles in there. So if you got 2 minutes, give it a look. I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
And that's about it for news this week. It's like we said, it's news light lately, and
yeah, we're just mostly stalling for Leona, but when she comes out, we'll get some out for you guys, and we're looking forward to her too. I mean, as much as I've complained about her this much in this video, I do want to see her in game because it's the first female tech, so it'll be interesting to see.
yeah, we're not sexist at all.
No. And now moving on to our own segment, our Ask Spazticgaming. Our first question comes from our email. It's actually quite a long one, but I'll go through it and kind of explain to you guys what this guy's asking. This is from Travis Roaming. He asks, will the kill reward changes in patch 1.0.0.120 have as large of an impact on the game as the death timer changes in 1.0.0.63? With the current changes, it seems that the kill death trading is still rewarding, but will do a good job on reducing penalty of feeders. He's asking if we agree. He went on to explain. He says, pretty much basically the notes here are in 1.0 or in 1.120, the maximum gold for killing a player was reduced to 500 from 1,000. I'm sure you've all seen, and the minimum gold was changed to 15 from 90, and the experience granted per kill is also regulated based on their level rather than just a flat amount. They also changed the death time, reducing it early game, but increasing it as it goes on, changing the percent per minute up slightly and reducing the cap, so it can actually get to be quite long. So the idea here is you will get less money for killing people, both on the high end of the spectrum and the low end of the spectrum, and they will be dead for longer as the game progresses. Now the point he's asking us is, what impact will this have on the game? Well, feeders have always been an issue, whether it's a
Intentional troll
it's
or
an
a bad
intentional
player.
troll or just a bad player. If they mean it or if they don't, it will still have a big impact on your game because it essentially takes away a player and adds a large amount of strength. Now, on the top end, let's say everyone's doing good, they have a long streak, and you kill them, that's 500 gold you're losing right there. So that immediately has an impact in saying that when you kill a player on a long kill streak who's already fed, you're not going to get as big as a reward for that, which is good and bad. On the one end, 1,000 gold for killing someone who's killed 9 people, it's understandable, but that is a lot of capital. I mean, that is upgrade amount of capital, and
1,000 gold's always
that can tip the scales quite a lot for maybe getting a lucky 5v1 kill. But on the flip side of that, the 9 kills they get to build up to that cap, every time they kill someone, that cap is getting lower and lower. So if they're killing a feeder, they're not getting 90 gold per kill. They're not getting 200 gold per kill. They're getting maybe 100 gold per kill, 15 gold per kill. So it really has reduced how much you get in terms of cash from players, but it has changed that you don't get as much cash from them, but you take them off the board for longer. So it discourages just collecting money, but it encourages pushing a lane, maybe taking a tower. So it shifts the game from being maybe stockpiling up by killing players to rather getting a bigger push on from killing players is what I see the change in this, which I think is a good thing. Getting a push is much better than getting a good item.
What I think is interesting is, before this patch, they wanted to kind of build up the fact that the games were dragging on too long, and they wanted to kind of speed them up, and so they kind of increased, death timer. They decreased death timers like beforehand, and they did all this stuff to kind of speed up the game times. Now it looks like they're extending the game time to balance everything out in case there's a feeder, in case there's a bad player, and reduce all these gold per deaths and how much you get for kills. And I like this change because it puts more emphasis on creep kills, jungling for gold, and just overall better farming without killing creatures. I know it hurts a lot of the carries a bit, but it will teach a lot more people how to get last hits and how to just conserve more gold and get the items when they need. when they need it. So kind of teaching the more high-end level strategic playing.
Yeah, I mean, this you can kind of see this as a trending sort of thing because, again, they nerfed the gold per 5 items, and they nerfed the amount of cash you get. So I think they're moving away from maybe getting your ideal build by 30 or 40 minutes in and maybe getting it towards 50 minutes to an hour where everyone's going to have their ideal build. So I think they want it to be more as the early game is not determined, the early and mid game is not determined by who gets the most gold, but rather who gets the most kills and who controls the game field more, rather than who got the most gold per 5, who got the most last hits, but rather who pushed the most and who got the most towers.
And it's interesting because it shifts from who has the better item wins to more strategic.
Which is
basis.
good.
Which I would kind of, to balance things out, if they want us to go for towers and stuff more with the longer death timers, reward us a bit more for each tower kill. It scales. Like if you kill the front row towers on Twisted, or on Summer's Rift, we'd get 150. Then the second tier tower would be 200. Third tier, 300. And then when you get to their base towers, it'd be 400 or 500. Just kind of, no, I'm not giving precise numbers here, but see how it would progress up and reward them for progressing and pushing heavily during,
Well, I disagree with that because I think just taking a tower gives you more control of the field, which I think is worth more than any amount of gold you can have.
It's true.
So I think, while I do
not thinking about it, it sounds kind of silly.
I do understand what you're saying, but I think they're pushing more for field control rather than money control as the primary.
Yeah, as soon as you said that, I was thinking, I'm like, wait, hold on. You're rewarding them for pushing and getting the field control and giving them more gold. That is not a good thing. Yeah. Ignore that statement.
But yes, this is a very interesting question. We'll post a link to this question here because it is a very interesting question. You guys can read it over. Email us a response or post a comment on the response because it is a very interesting question. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I know I didn't put out the whole question, but yeah. Take a look, guys. We'd love for you to see it.
And thank you, Travis Roaming, for the question.
Yeah, very good.
Very, very great.
This is the reason we put out email questions because of good questions.
Because there's a limit to what you can say on the YouTube channel. This is beautiful. Next, from our comment section.
This is from Toxic613. It says, guys, first, are you playing on EU servers? We are not. We are both US. We are across the pond.
We are the Yanks.
Indeed. His next question is, I think you should do some funny videos in League of Legends and scroll them while you are talking about stuff. For example, there was a patch for Rammus, and you could take Rammus with Teleport and Ghost by Boot, Sword, and have a team teleport to, well, what happens next. Well, Travis is the last one, Toxic, we have put video on some of ours, and I have been accumulating a lot of footage myself using League of Legends Recorder. We're going to be putting in more videos soon. We have not the last few because it's been kind of hectic, but we will be putting up more stuff soon. Just that way, if you do decide to watch, we will have some stuff for you to look at. But yes, we have footage. We will put it in soon. Trademark. And if you guys want to give us footage, League of Legends Recorder, it's free to use. It's very good.
It's third party though.
Yeah, it's third party. So if you don't like using third party, it's too bad. But if you have some sweet footage you want to send us, we'll take it at our email, or you can post it on RapidShare or something. Send us a link. We'll take a look. Don't be a dick about it.
Next is, a lot of people are wondering if we can upload our audio
iTunes. The answer is yes, we can. The problem is I am in a state of transition right now. I have a server. I have a machine I'm going to use as a server, but I have nowhere to put it right now. So I have nowhere to host our files to put them up on iTunes. As soon as I get a stable place to live, I will put it up, and I will have them up on iTunes for you guys. But for now, they are only on YouTube. So I apologize. You can blame Axis for being a nitwit.
Also blame a little bit of iTunes because they don't have servers or good, work.
No, don't blame iTunes. Just blame me. It's much easier. I'm a much friendlier person. I won't come after you with lawsuits.
Yeah, definitely. Next up, some more of our personal news. The Monday night game night will be switched to Tuesday for the 4th of July if you're in the US. If not, it's going to be switched to Tuesday. The game this week, we're going to switch it from Terraria to the new free-to-play Team Fortress 2.
Hooray!
So we're going to try to get more people involved in this one because Terraria costs money even though it's on sale. So we're going to get that going.
Yeah, so download TF2, and we'll get the information up, I think, in another video.
we'll get it in the video, and we will, the day of the game, we will post the information of my Steam name, the server information, and everything on the Facebook. So keep an eye on the Facebook.
So you can blow us up like you've always wanted. Hooray!
Even though I'm a mean pyro.
Oh.
Finally, we are having another small contest. It's not going to be big, blown out, or
we're still fleshing it out. But here's the kind of base concept for you guys.
What we're doing is we want to see a lot of user-created content. You know, like fan art, remixes of funny things we've said, catchphrases, pictures, anything. We want to see what
any creative work that involves our show, either depictions of us or actual sessions that we've had. You're free to use any of the work we've put out, by the way.
All of it 100% free. We will not question how you got the audio. We're not going to, sue you over it. We're 100% cool with it.
And if you want to email us questions or anything regarding that, you can send it to us.
It's in full stages right now. We're still trying to figure out prizes. We're still trying to figure out how we're going to, judge it. But we want to see what's going on here. We're going to be loose on the, time limit and stuff like that. If you guys have something you've already made and you're like, oh boy, I get to show them.
So yeah, just mull the idea over. We'll figure it out and we'll get the details for you. We just wanted to give you a heads up.
I'm hoping for a Crowstorm Techno remix.
Some fiddle step.
Yeah, fiddle step with our voices.
I like the part of dubstep where it goes whoop, 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 whoop. Number 1. But yeah. Upcoming contest, a lot of cool stuff. Game night on Tuesday. A lot of upcoming events. So email us questions. Take a look at this cool question we got. And we're thrilled to hear feedback from you guys. We really love you.
Alright, so this has been Water Elemental.
And this has been Axis. And I'm telling you, it was hot today.
Very hot.